Hi guys, thanks so much for tuning into this video. I am Jay Theo, and today we're gonna be talking through the 10 signs to tell if does he like you or does he just like the idea of you. I've been wanting to make this video because as someone who's been single pretty much his whole adult life, I've encountered this a lot where I'm always trying to decipher whether somebody actually likes me or they just like the idea of me. And I found myself in this situation numerous times when I really ask the nitty-gritty questions if a guy actually likes me when it comes to like my personality, my thought process, my philosophies on life, all those things. He cannot name something of depth that he really likes about me. So I think just as we're continuing our dating journey out here, guys, and we're trying to open up our hearts to love and all those things, I also want us to be smarter about the ways that we pursue love and the ways that we pursue dating. And I want to walk through these signs to help us tell, does he like you or does he just like the idea of you? Okay, so first up, if he's always talking about your looks and your physical appearance or your body, things like that, that is a sign that he just likes the idea of you. Yes, we want to be attracted to our partners, and yes, we want to compliment and appreciate the beauty and the bodies and all of those things, but at the end of the day, there's a mind behind you. There's a thought process in your head, and you want your partner to be more in tune with your personality than just the way you look and the physical features you have. I've definitely felt this way on dates before, and guys that I've had situationships with or talked to for a period. I'll never forget this one guy. He'd be like, "Oh my God, Jay, I like you so much. I'm so happy I got to know you. I got to meet you." And I would ask him like, "Okay, what do you like about me?" And he was always like, "I just like your smile. You just have such a cute smile. You're just such a cutie. You're just so sexy." He would just always say stuff like that, but he would never actually say anything about my personality or how I move through the world or how I carry myself. It was always just physical, 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 physical. And I think the same can be said about sex. I think some people can get really invested in how you are as a sexual partner, and that's what's really pulling them towards you, which I think is another physical aspect versus who you are as a person. And I think that's why sometimes even getting physical too soon with some people can warp your thought process on if they really like you or the idea of you, and also warps their thought process on if they actually like you or if they just like the sex or they just like the physical aspect of what you guys have going on, whether it's dating or whether you guys are already in a relationship. So I definitely think if your partner or someone you're dating is always complimenting your looks and staying so obsessed with the physical, that could be a sign that they aren't that invested in your personality and who you are as a person. And at the end of the day, we want people who are dating us and who are going to be our romantic partners to actually want to get to know us and be invested in who we are as a person, not just what we look like. So I definitely think look out for those signs when someone's always complimenting your looks and your physical features. I've been there numerous times before, and that's honestly a reason why I have taken more of a step back from dating, because I feel like with men in general and the gay community is very, very shallow and just cares so much about looks and like in sex, and that could be just something that they constantly just want to talk about. And for me, I actually do want a man that has depth. I care, even though I do want to be physically attracted to my partner, I care way more about how we connect in conversation, and I care more about a person's mind than I do just about the way they look. And yes, looks are always going to be important, and physical sex and all that's going to be important, but at the end of the day, you want somebody you can grow with and build with and have a real mental connection with. So next up is if he really, really likes your job, your career, your apartment, your lifestyle. If he's always saying, "I just like that you have your shit together," or "I love that you have such a dope career or such a dope job," or "I just love your apartment and that you have your own space." So basically someone who is highly focused on the material aspect of dating, you're getting to know you, and the financial aspect of dating, you're getting to know you, or just like from a social status, what you could offer them. If you have like a social status in your community, or you know a certain amount of people, or you have a certain level of popularity, they can also be attracted to that as well, and they also could really like that aspect of you. But when it comes down to really knowing you as a person, they are not that attracted to you or not that into you. So I definitely think Pay attention to those signs as well. Yet again, I've met a lot of guys when we finally get to the point of dating where they're coming over to my place and they're seeing my apartment and they're seeing that I have my own car and that I'm really financially independent and financially stable. I people out of like, oh, I just really like you, Jay, because you have your shit together, or I just really like that you have your own spot. That's so amazing. Just kind of those little things. Or, oh, wow, you do that for a career. That's so dope. Or, oh my God, you're a content creator on top of like working a full-time 9 to 5. Like whatever it is, I think people can get swept up in what you do for a living, what you do in your lifestyle. If you travel a lot, if you are really into really nice restaurants and really going to really nice events and you like to take them to those events and take them to those restaurants, people can get really wrapped up in your lifestyle. And at the end of the day, like, unfortunately, a lot of people are users. A lot of people are very transactional. So if they catch wind that that's the type of person you are, they could really be falling in love with that and not really in love with you. So keep that in mind when people highlight what they like about you and when they compliment you. If it's really focused more on your finances, material aspects of your life, where you live, what you do for a living, that is another sign where it's just showcasing that kind of like the package that you come in. But if they're, well, yet again, if they're not speaking to your personality, your mindset, if you guys are not connecting in ways like that, you know, he might just like the idea of you. Okay, so the next one is one that yet again, so all this is gonna be based on my own experiences, but yet again is another one I've seen time and time again as well. Is someone who always wants to play devil's advocate with your opinions and thoughts. I don't think the devil needs an advocate. I literally had to tell a guy that on a date before. I was like, the devil doesn't need an advocate. And when I'm looking for a partner, I'm looking for someone who's gonna support my ideas, support my opinions, or bring up a perspective for us to have a discussion about the opinion, but not to basically negate my opinions. And I think a devil's advocate is always trying to show you a negative or to showcase an opposing standpoint to your thought or opinion. And I don't think that's always beneficial. Yes, I think different perspectives drive conversation and conflict, and those things can help a relationship grow. But at the same time, if you are discussing an idea or opportunity or something, that philosophy you have on life, you don't want somebody always opposing that and negating that. And it kind of shows that you guys aren't aligned fundamentally. I think someone that you are more aligned with connection-wise and fundamentally, you will not need them to always bring in opposing thoughts or always trying to negate your ideas and be that devil's advocate. So I really think if someone you're connecting with or you're dating, or even somebody you may even be with a relationship now, if they're always being opposite to your views, if they're always trying to negate and play that devil's advocate, I think that's a sign that they really don't like you for you. Yet again, they like the idea of you. And that brings me to my next sign. If you just have huge differences in your values, priorities, and like future plans in your life. So I feel like when this happens, a partner or a person you're dating can project a lot of what they want in a partner onto you. So if they have certain values, if they have certain future plans they want in their life, they will project that onto you. And this can come with like religion, this can come with like roles in relationships, so like gender roles or what they think a partner should do in a relationship. This can come in the form of family planning. If you want kids, if you don't want kids, if you want to get married, if you don't want to get married, if you want an open relationship, if you don't want an open relationship. Overall, I feel like if it feels like you're forcing yourself to lean into somebody else's views or to lean into somebody else's values or someone else's plans, I think that's a tall tale sign that even you are liking this person more for the idea than actually liking them in general. At the end of the day, yes, I understand that we can compromise on certain things in relationships, and you have to do that in any relationship, but I think compromise shouldn't come in the form of values and fundamentals and family planning. Like, you either want a kid or you don't. You either want to get married or you don't. You either believe in God or you don't. You're either Christian or you're not. Things like that. I think those aren't things you can really transform in a person. I've had this happen to me numerous times. I'll never forget, I was on a date with a guy and he was basically saying how non-believing and being an atheist is something that he would just not tolerate. And y'all, I'm a non-believer. I'm not somebody that believes in God. I grew up Christian. I'll probably make another video about this, but things that happen in my life and just the way that I view my life now, I'm just not someone who is a believer in religion and all of that. I say the word non-believer just because atheism has a stigma to it. But at the end of the day, I'm not a believer. And he was a believer. And I basically was like, well, I'm not a believer, so if that's a deal breaker for you, I totally understand. And he's like, no, it's not a deal breaker for me. It's not a deal breaker for me. And I was like, okay. I was like, just know that I'm never gonna change my mind about that. I'm very firm in the way that I feel about that. And he's like, sure, sure, sure. But y'all, as we got to know each other, he would try to convince me to go to church, and he would try to convince me to read the Bible and things like that. So that's just an example of like our values didn't match. So he really didn't like who I was completely. He wanted to change me to kind of who his ideal partner would be. Another instance, I was dating a guy. We actually were dating in the sense of getting to know each other. We weren't in a full-blown relationship. And one thing that he always brought up was that he wanted kids. And I kept telling him at that point in time, I just wasn't sure if I wanted kids. And if that's a deal breaker for him, I totally understand. We don't have to continue dating. Like, I don't want to make someone feel that they have to be with someone that doesn't want kids if they want kids. And he kept saying, no, it's not an issue, it's not an issue. But y'all, he would bring up the kids thing so often, and his future kid and what he wanted his future kid to be like. Then he told me how he already had a surrogate planned out for when he wanted to have kids. He already knew someone that would be the surrogate for it. That whole kids thing was the end of us dating, because I let him know, like, it seems like kids for you is something that you really hold dear and really special, and that's fine. You should find someone that wants to have kids. You should find someone who is firm in that. So those are aspects of where if our priorities and our fundamentals and our futures don't align, then we really aren't meant for each other, and you can't force it. And I think if you feel like you're forcing something that doesn't feel right to you, that's a sign that both of you guys just like the idea of each other, and that you guys aren't really liking each other for each other. Because those are really, really fundamental deal breakers and really, really important aspects of a relationship. And honestly, if you aren't firm in the things that are true deal breakers, they will only create problems later on in your relationship. You don't want to do something that will be so much harder to get out of if you realize that that's really just not what you wanted within your relationship. Okay, the next one is he never fails to mention how you measure up to past partners or other guys. So I feel like if somebody is always just bringing up like, oh, like you're just so much better at this, or oh, like I'm just so happy you do this, whatever, or I'm trying to think of other examples. If someone is just always calling out things you do better than other people, or things that they like more about you than other people, I do think that that could be a sign that they like the idea of you yet again, because they're always trying to compare you to others. At the end of the day, you are a unique being. We're all unique in our own light. And I get people can have past experiences that they want to compare a new partner to, but I think that should just be more of an internal dialogue than an external dialogue. I don't think a partner should constantly be bringing up how you stack up against either other partners or just other people in general. I think that just kind of shows that they really do like this aura about you, but is it really telling you that they like you for you? I think if someone generally does like you for you, they can find other ways to offer those compliments that isn't comparing you to someone. If you are someone that's a great cook and other people he dated just wasn't a good cook, he can just say, you're such a great cook. I just love your meals. They taste so good. I don't think it should be in the vein of like, you're just such a better cook than my exes, or I just never meet guys that can cook like you. Like, oh my God, like you're just like, you know, I just think there's a wording thing. And I feel like we're all growing. I'm not saying people are always gonna be perfect, but I think it should not always be a comparison thing. You are a unique individual, and I feel like the like and the attraction and the excitement should come from you just being your unique self, not you being stacked up against other people, because we always can be compared to other people, and there's always gonna be someone better or somebody worse than us. And I think a true partner that really likes you for you will find a way to compliment you and provide affirmations for you that is solely unique to you and not in comparison to other people. And the next one, which kind of stems off of the last sign, is someone who is always talking about their ex. I think if someone is still talking about their ex and what their ex did and how their ex did this and how their ex did that, whether it's good or bad, I think that is someone that is still hung up on their ex. And I feel like if someone is still hung up on their ex, then I feel like they still have feelings that are still more focused on their ex. I feel like if somebody is truly over their ex and really wants to focus on you, they wouldn't want to be bringing up their ex. The past is the past and the present is the present. So why are we still hung up on someone that you decide, either you decided or they decided that they no longer wanted to be in a relationship with you? So why are we hung up on that? And I feel like someone could be using you as a rebound or to fill a void or to feel this loneliness if they are still hung up on their ex. So pay attention when somebody is constantly bringing up their ex, constantly bringing up, you know, the good and the bad aspects they had with their ex, because that's a sign to me that they are trying to fill a void, and you could just be a placeholder or a rebound for them when it comes to this new relationship or this new dating experience. Okay, if you feel like you don't feel like yourself around this person, if you feel like you're stepping on eggshells, if you always have to recant things you say, if you feel like they're always trying to call out flaws or things in ways that you move, and you feel like you have to change or morph into somebody you're not, that is a tall tale sign that they are trying to build you to be somebody you're not, and that they really don't like you for you. At the end of the day, when we're dating and when we're building relationships of any kind, you should be accepting of the person for who they are. When you meet a new friend, when you meet a new partner to date or get to know, you should be excited about the person that they are, not the person that you want them to be. And you should not be chasing potential, and you should not be considered potential. You should not be considered potential for someone. Yes, people can encourage us to be better people if we're, we have goals and we have things we want to do with our lives, and people can bring in an inspiration or a motivation you didn't even know was there. I do think that can happen, but that's different than someone literally making you feel like you're not yourself and you feeling like you're forcing yourself to be someone else for this person to like you and be into you. I don't think that is good for our mental health. I don't think that person truly cares about your well-being if they are making you feel like you're not yourself. You should feel like you are your most self around a partner. You should feel like you could be your most honest. You should be your most vulnerable with someone like that. So I feel like if you feel like you're not yourself, you're stepping on eggshells, if you are always trying to make sure you say the right thing or do the right thing to make sure this person appreciates you, then that is just not the person for you, and they definitely do not like you for you. They like the potential that they think you have for the person that they want in a relationship. Next up is if someone is moving very quickly towards a relationship. Now, I know everybody has different lengths of time they feel they date and then move into a relationship, but if you clearly are still in the getting to know you stage, like learning each other, learning about how each other moves and operates, learning each other's philosophies and ideologies about the world, learning each other's hobbies, what makes you tick, things that really showcase if you like a person or not. I am genuinely someone who thinks it takes seasons to get to know anyone. This is dating, romantic, and also friends, platonic. I think it takes seasons. You need to see people through the motions, through the good, the bad, to really determine the type of person they are. And I think someone who wants to move too quickly into a relationship is chasing, to me, the idea of a relationship. They're chasing, I want to be in a relationship, I want to be moved in with my partner, I want to get to the marriage, I want to get to the family. They're chasing that. And at the end of the day, they should be chasing you as a person, and I don't even like the word chasing, but they should be trying to build the connection with you just one-on-one. That should be their sole purpose. It shouldn't be the end goal. Honestly, anybody who is like end goal focused, when I meet with them on a date, if their first thing is like, I'm trying to find my husband, I get that. We can all say, eventually, what I like to say when I'm on a date is like, my goal right now is to connect with someone that I would want to build a stronger connection with that could lead to a potential long-term relationship. But the first step is the connection. Yes, my end goal is a long-term relationship, a long-term connection, but we gotta get there. And I think some people just be so gung-ho, like I wanna get to the relationship, that they will rush through the get to know you phase, and they will get so infatuated and be so in lust with how you look or how you carry yourself and things like that, that they bypass all the core values and the core dynamics that they need to know about you to really make the best choice to be within a relationship. A relationship is a lot of work, it's a lot of dynamic, it's a lot of compromise, it's a lot of things going on. So you really have to build a connection with someone. And I think when you don't value really building that connection with someone, that is a telltale sign that you just like the idea of what a relationship is and not really forming a true connection with the person. Okay, next up is basically, a lot of these are segueing off of each other, so great. So next up is basically if they're always talking about a relationship. So if someone is always talking about the relationship, what they want in a relationship, what they're looking for in a relationship, then that just shows that that's their main focus, is the relationship. And yes, that is a focus of your relationship, but that's not really the core of a relationship. A relationship is who you guys are as people and how you bond and how you build together in that sense. And just experiencing each other, getting to know each other in a natural, organic way is how you figure out more about the relationship. And that's also how you discuss the dynamics of a relationship. You guys have to experience each other to then discuss how you handle things, how you handle conflict, how you handle dynamics. What would you like your living situation to be? What would you like your how often you want to communicate and see each other? I think those are things that naturally kind of build up when you are getting to know someone and when you are really starting to like someone. And I think just being so focused on always discussing the dynamics of the relationship just a telltale sign that that is their main goal and their connection with you is not their main goal. So I definitely think that's another sign, is just constantly discussing relationship, and not discussing more about getting to know each other, building a connection with each other, and just having an organic vibe with each other. So y'all, this last one I think is extremely telling, that they only like the idea of you and don't really like you, and even vice versa, that you only like the idea of them, you don't really like them, is if you took the romance out of it, if you took the romance, the lust out of it, would you be friends with this person? And not in a sense of if you guys stop talking, would you still be friends? I get if you're dating someone and you stop talking, you don't want to do the whole let's just be friends. But I mean, like, if you met this person on the street without there being lust and romance tied into it, would you want to be this person's friend? Would you want to be this person's friend? And you could ask the same question in reverse. Like, if you weren't sleeping with this person, if you weren't this beautiful, attractive person that they are harping about and lusting over, do you think they would be your friend? Do you think they would actually want to be your friend? Do you have enough of a connection mentally from a personality standpoint that they would actually want to be your friend? And would you actually want to be their friend? And I think that is super, super telling. When I think about guys I dated where it was like, dang, would I even want it to be their friend? Then it's like, why would I even want to date them and be in a relationship if I can't be their friend? I think being a friend to your partner is the first step, is being the core step, being a friend. Because being a friend shows to me that you care about me emotionally, you care about me physically, you care about me in all the ways that make sense. You care about my well-being, and you want to see me happy, you want to see me smile, you want to see you, and you want that connection with me. And I think if you can't see someone as a friend, or if they can't even see you as a friend, that's telling. And I know you can ask somebody, would you be, I mean, I guess you could ask somebody, would you be their friend if you guys weren't dating? But I think a way you can tell that is if they are dismissive with your thoughts and ideologies, if they like the way that you see the world, if they are excited about goals and things that you have about your future life, if they're tolerant about your quirks and the things that you do that may be annoying, but they still receive it and accept it. So I think that friend piece is super, super pivotal to making sure that someone actually really likes you within your dating realm and within your relationships. So guys, I hope this was somewhat helpful. As I said, I've dealt with a lot of these things, and I just want us to continue getting smarter and smarter and smarter as we keep entering the dating world. I think as gay men, the dating world is extremely shallow, and I think we have to do a better job making sure that we can peep the users, abusers, and the people that honestly just don't have enough emotional intelligence to decipher if they really like you as a human being or if they're just physically attracted to you. And I just want better for us. I want better for our gay community, and I want better for you. I want your next experience when you're dating and getting to know somebody that you are really vibing with them, that they really like you for you and not the idea of you, not what they can offer, not the finances you have, not the clothes you wear, not the way you look, not the sex you can offer, not the home you can provide, but for you. At the end of the day, we are human, and we deserve to be humanized. We deserve to be treated as like people, and we deserve to find real connection and real love. So guys, with all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like. Please let me know in the comments if you ever were with someone, if you're currently dating somebody, if you did date somebody in the past where they didn't really like you and you finally figured it out, or if there was just signs that you also saw. If there's any other signs you feel like that I missed and you want to drop in the comments, please let me know as well. Also, if you are really enjoying this content, please be sure to subscribe. And as always guys, do your best to stay safe, stay positive, and I will see you guys on the next video.